Hi guys and welcome back to City Skylines. As you can see, we're playing real time right now because I figured this is going to be that one episode in which I'm actually going to show my city. I was going to say city, that I don't know why my mouth did that. But yeah, this is my city at the moment. It's currently the 17th of March. And I don't know if by the time that I have uploaded this video, I have got rid of the delay with uploading videos. Maybe by a tiny margin, but this is still probably uploaded a couple of days later. But yeah, this is my city at the moment, and in all its glory and beauty. And you know, I figured, because I did all of these time lapses and I never really got to show what the city looks like right now, I decided to just show the fruits of my labor. So let's just take let's just begin up north. We've got Riga over here, which is one big commercial zone. Because I had a lot of demand for that, and I was just like, yeah, I might as well try that. Let's actually unpause the game. And we've got the Russian city, we've got the Russian city over here. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It's just a cool city, I figured. We've got Rome over here, which is called Rome for no other reason that I had no other city name to come up with. We have Kufstein over here, which is called that because it's in the mountains. And this is a mountain, if you live in Holland and you're used to flat countries, this is pretty much a mountain over here in Holland. And we've got Vancouver over here because it's got loads of trees, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that Vancouver has loads of trees. I am sorry about mispronouncing that. It's very sorry. And Salt Lake City, same thing. Loads of trees, I figured. So I'm going to do that. I'm not really sure if I'm actually going to keep this forest area because, first of all, it doesn't really make too much sense. I mean, the only connection that it has for each little road is one-way road that ends in a highway and begins in a highway, though not necessarily in that order. And I don't know if that is the greatest thing. Same goes for this little residential area over here because it doesn't really seem to make too much sense. It's kind of stuck between the highway and the harbor over here. The harbor, of course, which has no cars but 2 bus lines and is pretty much a traffic, well, problem with buses alone. No idea how I got to do that, but you know, it works to get the tourists in the rest of the city and actually spend money so that I get money, which is the perfect situation. Then we have Hong Kong and Singapore over here. Wait, up north though, we still have Seattle, which is nothing, except it does have some cool road patterns. Pretty happy about that. And some flat blocks. Many flat blocks actually for a neighborhood in this city. Quite many. And I do like that though. I do like to place these things next to my highway because, for one, it just kind of shows off the cool tall buildings next to the highway. But then I was also like, yeah, it could block the sound of the cars for the houses that are over here. Now I'm pretty sure that the mechanics of this game don't work like that, but you know, fantasy. That's just what I figured. Then we have Hong Kong, which is also one big commercial area, and therefore also called Hong Kong. And Singapore, which is just a residential area, but it does have some commercial stuff over here, and some offices, I think, over there too. And this is still one of my favorite places in the city. It just kind of has that GTA look to me. This is the kind of highway on and off ramp that I imagine every highway on and off ramp in America to look like, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Then we have the ugly station, of which I have, after 16 years of investigation on this building, I still have not found the door to this thing. There is literally no way where you can actually enter. That seems to be an issue over there, but whatever. Then we have this part of Seattle, which is still part of Seattle because it's just such a small neighborhood. I couldn't make it its own kind of district over here. So this is Seattle, a beautiful city. I actually do really like this area. Really big park. And I really started noticing that if you zoom out, if you kind of have like the bird's eye perspective, which you normally have, it doesn't seem like a huge park. But then as soon as you start going first person, which I was going to try to do over there, but I did not. I think I don't have the first person mod installed anymore. Wow, that's a bummer. But you know, we can get pretty close with the normal in-game kind of thing. There we go. That's the thing. I need that. But yeah, this park is actually pretty big, and it's also got a pretty cool view of the skyline, though not necessarily over here, but more or less like from this little place over here. It's pretty cool. And let me get rid of that. And This is probably a much better way to actually navigate through the city. Although, it means that I can't see the districts. Well, I'll look at that in a bit. And, no, I can't see the district names. That confuses me. We have Frankfurt over here, which might seem a little strange because it's in the middle of the park, but that just happened because of the shape of the district, as you can see. Frankfurt used to be the commercial area, but then I was like, nah, I'm gonna call that Tokyo, and that's gonna be its own neighborhood. So, we have the downtown area with all the skyscrapers over here, and of course the transfer tower in the middle, because you do kind of want that signature tower. And by the way, this looks completely awesome from the which shall we call it? Is this yeah, this is a highway. Looks pretty cool from this highway over here. Really get that awesome skyline. This game sure does live up to its name, I can say that. So, zooming out, we have got Osaka over here, which is the Weeaboo region. Then we have Tallinn, which is the Balticophile region. I don't even think that's a word. And we have Amsterdam, which is a pretty cool region over here. Why I'm calling these things regions, they're districts. Even the name district doesn't really appeal to me. It just kind of has that Hunger Games ring to it to me. I feel like just calling it a neighborhood just seems better. I don't know. But I do like Amsterdam. But especially because of that building, you know, and the symmetrical stuff with the apartment buildings on the sides. Yeah, it's a pretty cool neighborhood. And, of course, some of those rings, those residential rings, because it is on Amsterdam, of course. And then we have Bucharest, because it has a cool kind of orthodox looking church. So I was like, even though this church is supposed to be in Ukraine, you know, Romania and Ukraine are essentially the same thing. I'm sorry, they're definitely not the same thing. We've got Indianapolis, which was my first neighborhood, and Indianapolis is still looking strong. Not going to get too much bigger than that, because I think it is already one of the biggest neighborhoods, if not the biggest, after Vancouver. So, not going to grow that too much. Now we've got Mannheim, which used to be the industrial area, but as you can see, it is far from industrial right now. Because as soon as I discovered that office buildings are actually industrial buildings in this game, I was like, oh, yeah, remove all of that. So I removed all of the industry over here and replaced it with all of these kind of office buildings with some residential stuff in the middle. So this is pretty much a communist kind of neighborhood. Not really sure if I'm too big of a fan of this, but you know, it does look decent, I suppose. And sometimes you also need some of these lower class neighborhoods too. And even though I figured this would be a lower class neighborhood, it still turned into a high class neighborhood. Like seriously, 99% of my population is highly educated, but whatever. It doesn't really seem like the most realistic thing, but that happens in this game when you give your people all of those services. So moving on, we have Dallas over here, which is a tiny little neighborhood which got cut off by building this highway. And as soon as I built this highway, I saw all of these smileys over here like go meh. They totally did not like that. Then we have the overly complicated highways over here, and Houston, which is still one of my favorite areas. It's kind of like a suburb of a suburb. I think I've called it that before. And Toronto, which is nothing at the moment, and I'm probably going to remove that because I think I have plenty of forest industry with Vladivostok and Salt Lake City, so definitely shouldn't have too much of that. And then we have Essen, which also used to be an industrial area, but now it's full of offices. And I don't know if this is too much of clustering, because this is just offices in one big area. And as you can see, these roads are built for, well, many trucks to drive on them, but now it's being used by just a couple of cars. So that is, I don't know if that's a great thing. So I'm probably going to redesign that neighborhood pretty soon. Then we have Holland, which ironically is the big shithole of the city because it has all the industry and it has the burning stuff facilities. So, but as you can see, lots of traffic over here, but this thing, as stupid as it looks, it's actually very practical, and everyone is using all of those on-ramps. And as you can see, there aren't really too many traffic problems over here. Kind of have this traffic light, which is something that I did want to avoid, and I would like to say that avoid traffic lights in any way you can, but sometimes you just need to have them. But other than that, there is no congestion over here at all, so pretty happy about that. Same goes for this though. What is wrong over here? Oh, they're actually loading over there. Whatever. I'll fix that at some point. And then we have Dubai, which totally does not look like the real life Dubai. That is a terrible place. I mean this one, of course. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I have the energy over here with 5 of my sun thingies. I don't even know what these things are called. And we have some other beautiful things in this city. This thing has some beautiful things to offer. I mean, we have this. Complete spaghetti interchange is what I call it. I am the inventor of the spaghetti interchange. The way you build it is just like, I have 3 highways and I need to connect them. Let's just connect them with random ramps everywhere. And that worked out fine because it does actually, as stupid as it looks, it does actually process the traffic pretty well because, you know, you have one on-ramp or off-ramp for each highway, so you can go in all the directions. And there was an abandoned building just there, but there it is. But that's getting demolished. Very beautiful. So, this is the city at the moment. I do kind of like the organic shape though. It has a very European kind of shape when you look at the road pattern. Problem is, I can't look at the entire city without actually going... I can't look at the entire city. I can't look at the entire city anymore without actually tilting the camera like that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about it so far. Definitely a couple of things that I still need to do. In the future, I want to hook up this highway to this highway, of course, so people can actually use this then, because as you can see, there's not too much traffic issues over here yet, but if I want to have some neighborhoods over here, I better have a highway connection over there too, and that also means that this kind of ring road around the center of the city is also finished. And what else am I going to do? Bit of expansion over here on Vancouver, and some more houses on the hills over here, because I do like those houses. Even though they're very low class right now, I'm still going to plant some trees over there and actually raise the land value, and going to build some buildings over here, and in general just expand, definitely. Might want to change the road pattern over here because it's kind of busy with traffic, as you can see. There's not really too much, and you would say, Silverette, what is wrong with you? That is not congested at all. But if I look at this thing, it's gonna show red in a couple of places, and I want my entire city to be green, even though that is definitely not the case because some areas are still quite, well, yeah, red, as you can see. So that is something to try to fix in the future, but I will do that in the future, and hopefully with the train that I'm going to install over here, and also a passenger train, and I'm going to build a metro because my city is getting pretty big right now, even though the population doesn't really look like it. I kind of want to fix those issues. But yeah, that's the city for now, so thanks for watching, and in the next episode I will continue the time lapse and actually work on the city again, so I'll see you then.